Upadesamrta by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, with the illumination by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Raksaka Sridhara Deva Goswami Maharaj. Text 6. Drishta svabhava janater vapushascha dosayer na prakritatvam iha bhakta janasya pasyet gangam vasham nakalubu buddhapena pankayir brahma dravatvam apagachi niradharmai. Devotees in this world should not be seen from a material perspective. Any imperfections found in their natures or their appearance should be overlooked, for such faults are like the foam and mud in the water of the Ganges. Such things appear due to the nature of water, but the divine nature of the Ganges is never diminished. Illumination by Srila Sridhara Deva Goswami Maharaj. Rupa Goswami says that we should not be very eager to find any defect in a pure devotee. The water of the Ganges can purify, even if there are bubbles or mud found in the water. The bubbles and the mud do not stand in the way of purification. The devotee is only meant for the good of the universe. The devotee himself, the pure soul or Atma, is the purifying agent, the purest and most normal factor in the world. But we may find in him some mud or bubbles. A Vaishnava may sometimes be seen to be a little greedy, a little angry, or physically he may be blind or deaf or lame. But the saintly character of the Vaishnava is independent of his mental or physical characteristics. Such qualities do not affect his status in the Vaishnava world. If we attribute those faults to his inner self, then we are the losers. We commit offense. In Kurmakshetra in South India, there was one Brahmin named Vasudeva. He was a devotee who had leprosy of an extreme type. So many worms were falling to the ground from his wounds, but he would pick them up and put them back in the wounds so they would not die. He understood in his internal mind that the Lord is coming here and I shall have a chance to have his darshan. He was very eager to have darshan of Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu went away and that man fell senseless to the ground. What is this? I could not have a glimpse of the Lord. He came and went away, and I did not have the capacity to have his connection, his darshan. Mahaprabhu was almost a mile away, and then suddenly he felt some attraction to go back. He ran back and found that man on the way and embraced him. His leprous body vanished, and his whole body was turned into a beautiful figure. Whatever may be externally seen in the character of a Vaishnava is like the mud, bubbles, and foam found in Ganges water. The purifying capacities of Ganges water is separate and cannot be disturbed by any foam or dirt mixed with it. The spiritual capacity does not depend in any way on the apparent material capacity. Once, Sanatana Goswami contracted sores all over his body due to drinking bad water in the jungle when he was returning from Vrindavan to Puri. Mahaprabhu used to welcome him by embracing him, but Sanatana would try to withdraw. Sanatana objected. Don't touch me. This is the body of a sinful man. The sores were oozing and emitting a bad odor, but Mahaprabhu embraced him forcibly. Sanatana had decided, I shall either leave this place or I shall invite death by falling under the wheel of the cart of Lord Jagannath. But as the Lord in the heart of all, Mahaprabhu knew Sanatana's mind. He chastised him and embraced him forcibly. All the sores disappeared, and Sanatana's body immediately became like gold. Mahaprabhu said, Sanatana Goswami is a devotee of a pure type. I see that there are some sores on his body oozing pus. I see that with my eyes. But due to my Shastric knowledge, I will show no disgust. The body of a devotee is Satchidananda. If I think it is mundane, then this shall be offensive to Krishna. Grina kari alingana na karitamayavi. Krishna tami aparada danda paitama tavi. If I had been repulsed and refused to embrace Sanatana, then I would have been punished for offending Sri Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Ancha Leela 4:196. The body of a devotee is Satchidananda. There are no mundane things there, yet my material eyes deceive me. But my Shastric knowledge tells me that no mundane thing can be present there. If I say, no, there is pus and sores and that is mundane, then I will commit an offense against Shastra and against Krishna. The Vaishnava conception is Atma Dharma, the soul's function. Any bodily contamination is absent there. The Bhagavatam has condemned this bodily conception in the strongest terms. Yashatma buddhi kunapi tridaduke svadi kalatradeshu balma ijade yatir tabudi salile natkarchi jani svavineshu saeva gokaraha. He who considers the true self to be this corpse-like body that is full of mucus, bile, and air, who believes that his family belongs to him, who thinks his country of birth is worthy of worship, who thinks that a holy place is merely an ordinary body of water, and who never seeks the association of the wise, is no different from an ass. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:84-13. One who thinks this body is the self is a Gokara, not an ordinary ass, but a worthless ass that can only be used to carry animal fodder and not to serve any real purpose for human society. One who thinks that his material connection is all in all is a fool. We are to remove ourselves from the platform of identifying the spiritual with the material. The spiritual is necessary, not the material, and it is imperative that we understand the real position. A doll playing in the hands of the infinite. Fault-finding is not a very good quality. We are out to find good qualities, what is good in the universe, and we have to preach that the highest good is in Krishna consciousness. A positive thing must attract us wholesale. Our position is not to blame, but to bring down the positive. That should be our main object in life. If you try to find fault with anyone, if you criticize for your personal interests, that fault will come to you, especially when that is in the devotee section. By connecting with poison in someone else's body, that poison will enter into you. Through that connection, the contamination will come to you. But if you seek help from the higher for purification and not out of envy, then you will be purified. Otherwise, you may find yourself in the same position at the next moment. What I am criticizing to be so bad, and the next moment I may find myself in the same deplorable position. I do not know the ways of the infinite environment. I am vulnerable. I am a doll playing in the hands of the infinite. At the next moment, from my human birth, I may have to go to a dog's birth, a cat's birth, or an insect's birth. We must avoid that. Try to find only good things in others. That will help you. In the time of our Guru Maharaj, there was a system in our math. Guru Maharaj ordered one Vaishnava to please another Vaishnava, especially one that he does not like. That means he was forced to find the goodness in the devotee whom he didn't like. He should try to find good things in him. Eliminating the bad things in his conception of that devotee, he will search for anything that is good there, and thereby he will be benefited. No culture of any bad thing anywhere, especially with the devotees, because Krishna has taken charge of those surrendered souls. What is good and bad is his responsibility. Those evil things in the devotee may disappear at any time, or Krishna will allow that to continue in order to serve some purpose. Such devotees are under Krishna's direct charge. They are Ananya Bhakt, fixed in devotion. Once, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a dream in which he was wandering in the sky chanting the holy name. He came upon the court of Yamaraj, where Yamaraj himself was sitting with Brahma, Narada, and others discussing a point from a verse in Bhagavad-Gita. Api chit sudaracharo bhajate mamananya bhak sadureva samantavya samyag vyasito hisaha. Even if the most sinful person worships me with one-pointed devotion, such a person should be considered to be saintly because his determination is perfect. Bhagavad-Gita 9:30. The generally accepted meaning of this verse is, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is an Ananya Bhakt, devotee who worships me alone in devotional service, which is free from karma and jnana, he is to be considered saintly because his endeavors are completely on my behalf and his determination is fixed. Here Krishna says, whatever he has done, if he is exclusively given to myself, he should be considered as my devotee. Samyag vyavasito hi saha. and whatever he is doing is 100% right. But then the next passage says, Ksipram bhavati dharmatma. Very soon he will be a man of righteousness. He will become dharmatma, dutiful. As Yamaraj, Brahma, and Narada discussed this point, a question came up. Krishna says, Bhajate mam ananya bhak, one who is my exclusive devotee. The question arises, what is exclusive devotion or ananya bhajan? Krishna says, give up all other religious conceptions and surrender to me alone. Sarva dharmam parityaya mam ekam saranam vraja. This is exclusive devotion. But if one is practicing exclusive devotion, then he is already dharmatma. He is already righteous. How is it then that in the very next verse, Krishna says, soon he becomes dharmatma? How are we to adjust this? Krishna says, Si prambhavati dharmatma shashvaschantim nigachati konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. He quickly becomes virtuous again and attains everlasting peace. O Konteya, go and declare that my devotee never perishes. Bhagavad-Gita 9:31. This is the general meaning of this verse. Krishna tells Arjuna he soon becomes dharmatma. My devotee is never ruined. Go and declare this to the public. Krishna says that after the devotee became Ananya Bhak, that is, he gave up all sorts of duties and surrendered to Krishna, then again he will be a dutiful man. As Brahma, Narada, and Yamaraj discussed this point, they saw Bhaktivinoda Thakur walking in the sky and taking the holy name. Then one of them suggested, there is a pure devotee. He should be able to give the real meaning. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur was invited in their midst and was asked, how shall we adjust these points? Krishna said that this person is an exclusive devotee, that he has renounced all sorts of duties and surrendered to Krishna, and yet in no time it will be seen that he is very dutiful. How can we understand this? Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that he quickly becomes righteous refers not to the exclusive devotee, but to one who considers the exclusive devotee pure in all circumstances. Even if he performs some abominable act, he is really a sadhu, a saint. One who can think of an exclusive devotee in this way will soon become dharmatma. This was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's explanation. However, merely professing that I am Ananya Bhak won't do. A real Ananya Bhak devotee won't say, I am Ananya Bhak. His innate feeling will be, I can't be Ananya Bhak. That is not a small thing. I have not attained that stage. It is very difficult. Rather, I am going away from it. That will be his feeling. This opposite tendency will come. In this verse from Gita, Krishna is saying that the fact is that one who has accepted me exclusively has no taste in other things. So really, he is not durachara, sinful. Internally, he is always connected with me, and he is indifferent to external life. Whoever has surrendered to me, I have accepted as my own. This means that those who are accepted by him will gradually be purified, but we are very eager to point out their faults. We are quick to judge the case of others. Why should he receive causeless mercy? He has got so many defects. This is a very poor attitude, a disqualification. Why should he be accepted or given any chance? But for ourselves, we want mercy. Don't come to judge. If so, then I have no hope, my Lord. Please grant your grace, then I have some hope. Please be lenient and do not find fault with me. But in the same breath, we will say, why this man? He is disqualified. Why should he get any grace? Why should he get some mercy or affection? That is hypocritical and causes a great deal of difficulty within us. It is suicidal. It is most dangerous for our progress. In my own case, I want something higher, but in the case of others, I can't tolerate the same behavior from the Lord. Generally, this is the basis of Vaishnava aparad. He has been accepted by the Lord, and gradually Krishna will purify him. But we continue to give much attention to whatever difficulties are still left in him. The result is that those difficulties will be transferred to us. These are the realities of the experience in this line. If we especially mark the faults of another devotee, they will be transferred to us. It happens. From our own experience and also from the Shastra, we have seen this. The greatest enemy to our progress is Vaishnava aparadha, especially for a beginner on the journey in this domain. Apa aradhana. Aradhana means to worship, to revere, to serve, and apa means that which is not up to standard. Vaishnava aparadha has been said to be most dangerous. If a Vaishnava is serving Krishna and we find fault with him, our level of purity will go down. Generally, a Vaishnava will always think, I can't serve perfectly. There are so many defects in my service. Even Radharani says, I can't serve Krishna properly. But she is serving to the highest degree. In the lower position, if there is some clash, that is Vaishnava aparad. That is greater than any aparad directly made to Krishna, because the Vaishnava is serving him properly with earnestness, and I am abusing him. Thereby I am committing suicide. To stand against the Vaishnava is to stand against one's own vital interests. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that the Mahabhagavatas do not care for any offenses made against them, but the foot dust of those Mahabhagavats cannot tolerate the dishonor of their master. Physician, cure thyself. Generally, one must be very careful not to make any remarks about the practices and activities of another Vaishnava. It is only acceptable when one is empowered by the Supreme, as in the case of disciples. To correct his disciples, the sympathetic guardian can mark their defects and help them remove them. Don't criticize. Don't be hungry to find the faults in others. But if someone finds fault in you, then you may consult a higher authority, a more senior Vaishnava. There have been some complaints against me. Whether or not they are valid, I don't know. Please, can you help me to understand my defects? Such an inquiry has no envy, no spirit of competition, that I am good and he is bad. It is devoid of mischievous motives underground. Only it must be endowed with pariprashnena, honest inquiry. Otherwise, I shall have to suffer. Physician, cure thyself before you attempt to cure others. This is your primary duty. Then you will really be able to offer others a cure-all. In conclusion, my advice is that you should try to be submissive to the Vaishnava devotees. Submissiveness to them will promote your spiritual merit. We shall also pray to the Supreme Lord for such an attitude. O Lord, my bad temperament stands in the way of my association with the devotees. Please remove it. Association with the devotees of the Lord is a primary necessity. It vastly improves our position with the Supreme if we always remain in prayer. O my Lord, this bad temperament in me, this inconsiderate thinking and feeling, sentiments concerning the outer world, this is disturbing my association with the higher Vaishnava devotees. We have to try to find the good in others. That will help us. Otherwise, we will be in great difficulty. This is not theoretical. These are all practical things.